Hey guys, it's us again.
Mm-hmm.
We got a horror movie for you today, and a damn good one, I might add.
Yeah, we just watched it, and I'm still shaking from it.
That's a good thing, actually. And the movie is called The Relic. This might ring a bell to you if you've been reading novels, because this movie is actually based on the novel of the same name that was written by Douglas J. Preston and Lincoln Child.
Yeah, and the title was just called Relic.
Yeah, well, the movie was called The Relic, but not a big difference.
Yeah.
So,
Made in 1997 too. Another classic. Well, not I want to say classic yet. But,
not yet.
But a 90s monster creature horror flick.
Yeah, and a good one in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm still shaking.
So, The Relic is basically, well, what is it about? Most of it takes place at the Chicago's Natural History Museum, where a few crates are being received by was it a doctor or a professor?
He was a professor of some kind of archaeologist, but he was studying tribal tribes.
Culture, yeah. And they receive these crates from him that contain nothing but a bunch of leaves. There's more to these than meets the eye.
Well, leaves and a statue relic.
And the relic.
Yeah.
Which is what the movie's name means.
Yeah, refers to.
So, first, what happens? Now, the plot is basically that a big-ass exhibit at the museum is about to be opened, and it's all about superstition. Like, they have, they make you walk under ladders, there's black cats, there's
salt spilled,
mirrors.
Broken glass is like 7 years bad luck.
So yeah, if you add up all they have there, you probably will have bad luck till you die.
Not like they already had bad luck just from receiving those crates.
Oh yeah, definitely. So this big exhibit is about to start, and a whole bunch of people are invited, including the city's mayor. And so it's all of a big and important event. And one of our main characters, Dr. Margot Green, is preparing for that, but at the same time, a murder takes place. Someone is found killed, and more like decapitated in the museum's restroom. At the same time, or actually shortly before that, a cargo ship arrived at the Chicago harbor that seemed abandoned at first. But then, countless of bodies were found. And also, they all lost their heads.
They were all decapitated.
Yeah.
Not to go into specific details, but there's reasons why they're all decapitated later on. You'll have to watch the movie to find out.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dr. Margot Green, played by Penelope Ann Miller, she's one of the lead roles of the movie, who basically figures out what the creature is all about. And then you have supporting actor Lieutenant Vincent D'Augusta, played by Tom Sizemore. And
yeah, he's basically leading the investigation.
He's also the hero type,
Yeah.
Save the girl.
Yeah.
Or save the people, or I know shit's about to hit the fan, you better listen to me, and nobody listens to him.
Yeah, unfortunately. And he's also very superstitious, which of course is a whole gag with the museum having an exhibit about just that.
Yeah, like he carries around a lucky bullet. He believes stepping over a dead body brings bad luck, and what other stuff was he paranoid with?
Coins.
Coins. Oh yeah.
If you pick up a coin when it faces the wrong way, bad luck.
If it's face down and you pick it up, it's bad luck.
Yeah. So that's basically him. He's leading the investigation, and what happens, what first seemed to be a few incidents, really turns out to be hell later on. I mean, shit hit the fan here pretty bad. And that is basically it. The monster in this movie, and trust me, it is a big one, is pretty original as far as most movie monsters go. We can't explain its nature. It would reveal like half a plot, but I can tell you one thing. I think it's pretty original.
I wish I could describe it to you, but you wouldn't believe me until you actually saw it. But yeah, it is an original creature. I loved the design, not to mention the use of CGI, and I think it was
Guys in suits and animatronics.
It was CGI, animatronics, and guys in suits, but the CGI was pretty early.
Yeah, but it looked good.
It looked good though, yeah, and it wasn't overused. It was
not at all.
It was mainly used for major chase scenes when you were seeing the creature running full force or jumping or doing really grotesque attack scenes. But yeah, again, another movie I like that doesn't overdo it with the CGI and relies more on animatronics.
As far as CGI goes, this is one of the best times I've seen a creature in a horror movie because it moved naturally, and it was generally frightening. What kind of creature are we talking about? It's not an insect, or it's not an alien. It's
not human.
I mean, imagine the following. This is not the creature's identity, but imagine Zool from Ghostbusters going on a rampage in a museum at night, and you pretty much. Yeah, this is exactly what this movie is.
But, and you're locked in.
Oh yeah, and bad. And to be perfectly honest, this thing makes Zool look like a puppy in comparison.
And when you told me that when we first started watching this movie, and Zool was a big fear in my childhood, and kind of still is to this day. This is the creature that's always held me in a grip of terror every time I see it. Even now that I'm older, that damn monster Zool scares me. And then I see this son of a bitch, pardon my language. Oh my god, this thing is a living nightmare in comparison to Zool.
Oh yeah, it is. So this is our recommendation to all you horror movie nuts out there. How did I hear of this movie? I think it was by pure accident. It's like my dad buys this magazine. It's about computers and stuff, and every time they put in a feature film, which happened to be the Relic, so he was like, "Hey, this might be something for you." So I watched it. Didn't know what to expect. Yeah, I was pretty scared.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I never heard of it until you told me about it. You said, "Hey, ever heard of the Relic?" And I go, "No, should I?" And he goes, "Well, it was USA released." Well, that doesn't surprise me, but that doesn't mean I heard about it.
No, of course not. But, you guys, one of the reasons why I'm doing these reviews is, well, sometimes I do bad movies. I mean, I did a bad movie before, but most of the time I really just do these reviews because I want to show you some of the hidden gems out there, movies that are worth checking out that simply are not that well known. So this is a great horror movie. It's severely underrated. The IMDb rating is a measly 5.4.
That's pathetic.
I mean, that is above average for creature flicks on IMDb, but I want to know what kind of pricks are rating the movies here. I mean, okay, different opinions and taste aside, this movie does not deserve such a low rating.
Like I said, I am.
Anything under a 6 for this movie, it's just stupid.
This movie did what it was supposed to do. I mean, for God's sakes, I am shaking. I had my pulses. I jumped several times while watching this movie, and it doesn't. Look, when you're supposed to be scared, you're supposed to be scared, and I was scared. So I don't know. I do not understand this rating.
And for me, I've seen. And let me quote from Ghostbusters here. I've seen shit that will turn you white, and I mean it. I've seen so many horror movies. I sit through the entire Saw franchise. I saw Hellraiser and The Thing, some of the scary movies of all time, The Shining, several different kinds of horror. But the Relic still managed to scare me after all this time. I mean, I wasn't like shaking at all, but I definitely I started sweating. And it's a very intense movie that doesn't get boring. One minor complaint, but I know this was used for the atmosphere. I could see some people complaining about this. This movie gets very dark as soon as the last third of the movie starts. The final act is very dark, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah, I guess that is a bit of a problem. But it added to the suspense for me.
But it's not AVPR dark.
No.
I mean, you can still tell what is going on. But I would recommend watching this in a rather dark room, and especially at night. Yeah, it's definitely a good nighttime movie.
Definitely a nighttime movie. So, okay, what's your rating?
My rating for The Relic is a solid 8.5. It gets that for great special effects, decent acting, good actors, and definitely an original creature design, and a pretty cool plot too. I mean, I liked it.
I give it a solid 8 for all of that, except for one complaint I have, and that's with a couple of villains that are in the movie, and they're not, I wouldn't say villains, they're more like bullies or assholes of the film that you know are gonna die.
The guys who want to die.
The guys who want to die, and
that's what I call them.
I just found them a little cliche in comparison to the rest of the cast, but, you know, maybe that's just part of the movie, but that's just me, because I've seen too many of those cliche bully types.
I believe that was intended. I mean, there's no way they will come up with these lines by accident. These guys are meant to be assholes. We are not meant to be caring for them, at the least. And I didn't.
But still, I gave it a solid 8 for everything you just said. It's a good creature design. I was scared. I screamed. I jumped. I was like, holy shit. Or I was screaming at the actors, run, get out of there.
There's two little more things I'd like to point out before we conclude. First thing, the character of the mayor in the movie is first portrayed as a selfish idiot that you wouldn't care for, and that it only seemed that all he wanted is his votes and that's it. But I noticed that by the end of the movie, he changed. I mean, that is, first he only cared for himself, but after all that crap, he started caring for the other people. I like that change. I mean, it's just a minor thing, but I like to point it out. I like that.
A part of me argues that what if he just started doing that because he feared publicity would hear him?
I don't know. It seemed honest to me when I saw it. I don't know.
Okay, well,
it's up to debate.
Yeah.
You see, you have to decide that for yourself.
Yeah.
And the second thing, the score. This movie has a great soundtrack. I mean, it's not always in the foreground, but it's generally scary, and it helps the tension a lot. The main theme of this movie is memorable, quite scary too, and the music used during the movie, especially during chase scenes, very good. I mean, this is top notch.
Even the sound effects of the creature were original.
Oh yeah, they definitely sounded scary too.
Yeah.
I mean, if I would hear that, I would piss my pants. Before I die, of course. So, yeah. That's the Relic for you.
Check it out.
Check it out, absolutely.